Out very well. So let me just come over here to our stream.
Out very well.
Okay, we are good. Nice. All right. So what I want to do here is jump into a game I just played. I thought it was a pretty cool game. And just for a couple of things that I want to point out real quick. Now the game, these weren't the game was normal enough, but there's a couple of builds here that I thought were pretty cool that I want to point out here. Something about trading barracks right at the beginning of the game that was pretty cool. And production. I did that earlier today in another game. I just totally forgot about handing around production, like as a tactic. I was playing a game today with Lemon in the morning, and I was the elites, and he wanted like 20 South Corvettes, and I was like, I don't want to build a bunch of. Instead of saying, oh, I got to build another like 6 Stargates, I was like, hey, can you just pass me yours? So I just produced 12 at a time out of that. I'm like, this is really, really handy. That was 307. There we go. But the one I really like, as it loads up here, is the one I just played. I think it was probably some of the most effective uses of team play handing off that I've ever seen. There's a couple I point out, like one with Roach, where he asked for my navy real quick so he can jump over with elites and clean up a bunch of Spartans fast. And that was super good. Great call on his part. You know, he asked. I hadn't thought about it. He asked for it. I reacted quickly. Worked out great. But we're gonna jump in here. And as soon as it loads them, and we'll see just kind of the way it plays out here. This is game changing, maybe. I don't know what would have been, but I don't know if it was or wasn't. So we've got in this one we have Catnip. We have Big Sig. I forgot the last one. And me, no, that's Admiral Murphy. Dumas, which is a new player, for my opinion, and Angel Killer. Sorry if I got your names wrong here. And then me. I was the last one who didn't try on it. So right here you see right away, Murphy asks for a barracks on Harvest. And so, actually, Sig is the one who responds here. He just hands him one, which was under production even. That was cool. I didn't even know it was a mechanic. But he just hands him a barracks. That was great. Because this can help. So if he does it fast enough, you could get units on, even if you handed all of them to him. Like imagine if someone comes flying in to do a spec ops drop on Harvest, and you've handed all 4 barracks over already, and they just pump out a bunch of Spartan 3s, you know, and shuts it down. If you already have Spartan 3s here, you can run them up there. You can take them out before they have the bunker up, before they have anything else up, and so that's the method there. It'll put you behind a little bit, but if you know it's coming, certain players will do this. Then you can be ready for it. I think it's a cool idea. Anyways. That's how we started out here. I was going to make this one. I also noticed here, there's some, oh, that's right, there's a couple other points I want to pull out here. You notice here, he cleaned up all of his turrets and his bunkers. And he's using barracks here as, you might say, what is he? He's building a wall here with these barracks. Which is, because barrack buildings have a lot of armor. They take a while to clean up. And that's a really cool idea. I've seen some players use it like up here, put a couple right there to block it off and put some units behind it, but like never like full on walls with barracks. This is SE1 stuff right here, but it's still cool to see and to see the effect of it. So this is a good build here. We have a bunch of jackals coming out. That's great against bios, you see, and in high enough numbers they can do damage to other things as well. But he's taking that one there, and I start mixing into brutes. See production. We see we have here. Where's my mouse? Oh, it's on the bottom of the screen. We have the elites player, and he's going for a drop using the brutes units. Clever build. Not every good idea we have works out that way, but it's great to see some creative builds here. The player who's made this popularized mobility with this is Qual. I don't want to say his name. CWL, Seawall, you know, like Backsheet Wall, or no, not Backsheet Wall, Operation Qual, or Seawall. Oh, I get it. Seawall, duh. Never mind it. Okay. Anyways, you know, we're talking. Sorry, I just figured out that cheat codes thing. Don't shoot me. That one give you a hard time. If you would be kind enough to. But that's a. Anyways, he's popularized this by being mobile with his units. and he gets superiority with like 20 stealth corvettes, and then just becomes a mobile doom blob with units. Now that only works if you have naval superiority, which Covenants often can. But here's something I want to point out. So Murphy, this is some players will do this. So they'll try to. It's not just some players will do this, but they try to micro all the other team members. You got to remember who you're playing with. Someone like Sig isn't going to not respond to that, and you got to be aware of that. Now, if someone new, yeah, you'd probably want to tell them that. But I think most players, it's kind of obvious. Most players aren't going to leave their production vulnerable like that and run off. That's just not something you need to communicate to them. You got to be aware of what to communicate. But he holds it off well enough, moves on from there. If you notice for a second there, I had my destroyers down there. That was something. And I'm being polite here. I'm asking for a. Some people was like, "Give me a brawler." You know, I was like, "Hey, can I have one?" I even offered to pay for it, which is great. Don't be a burden on your team. Really try really hard. Don't be an economic burden or anything. And no matter what the circumstances, try to make sure, because these are also, one, this is a game, and two, it helps team chemistry to be more friendly, polite about things. Certain people you have a certain repertoire or rapport with, you can do that kind of thing with. But, so if you notice there, sorry, I haven't done it yet, but I showed up here to start Matt Canning with it, and I thought, hey, I had an idea. Why don't I just hand it to him? And this is a clever build here. You can see that. I didn't even notice this because I was doing something. That's a great job. If he wanted to make that a little more effective, he would have kept micro, and it would have just like drop and done. If he notices when they move, picks up and drops on top of him again, that would have helped out. Let's come over to me here. So if you notice, so Matt cannons, we call them smacks or smacks. They are ridiculously cheap, do massive amounts of damage, and they only cost 500. So really popular right now. But you're missing something if you don't build a repair platforms. That increased the tankiness or the survivability of your units tenfold, a great deal. If you ever noticed, players will, a good Navy player will back Mac Cannon with, well, maybe some Navy players, they'll back the Mac Cannon with the repair platform, and so if there's like a swarm of Seraphs, which is the textbook counter to that, you just release your interceptors at them, or just get enough units and swarm it. The safe way is to throw Seraphs at them, which it is usually. But if you do that and you have a repair platform backing it, it actually protects it. It keeps it safe to it increases its durability because it's repairing through most of that damage, which is a great deal. I would suggest, Orion, if you watch this, or I'll probably make a clip of this, but I suggest, one thing that bugs me is you don't control where in orbit they show up. Now, I understand you don't want them to be placed anywhere in space, but I know like Gatecraft Galaxy, no. Some I think it's that one, or a couple of landed space games, they have it limited where you only have a certain build radius around a planet. If you could find out how to do that, like a pylon power field or something, and make like a space builder unit for Navy to use. Of course, that would limit it for everyone, but they can always just pass it around. Something where they could that way they could plan it so that, because otherwise you have to keep building things until something works out. So right now, this repair platform can't support either of these Mac cannons, and that's vulnerable early game. The only way this works is if later game I have tons of units, tons of repair platforms and Mac cannons supporting each other, with the Navy there to support it. But early game doesn't have much benefit, and so if you could make maybe like a spaceborne builder, that'd be a great idea. Now right here, sorry, I paused it for a while, but I asked the army, hey, do you want a destroyer? So you can do your own macking. Navy can do that with a support cruiser, but that costs money, like 1,000 to build. And I was like, I have 600. I'll just toss it your way. Plus, I knew the Navy I was going against. This is a huge factor in this game. Was new, and where's that destroyer? There it is. So I came over here with the destroyer to help. I was still here, and I just passed it to him. What was I talking about? Oh, the Navy was new. That helped out a little bit. He made a good build. Let me pull him up. There it is. Doing this. Oh, admiring the models there. zoomed in with his camera. Cool. I guess he was just enjoying looking at stuff. That's to give you another barracks on. I'm saying this, or sorry, on harvest. There we go. But yeah, let's get a look here at his. Does he have a navy? I don't think he does. Oh, there he does. So that's a good build. He has a Corvette, a couple Corvettes. Corvettes you don't usually want, but destroyers and battle cruisers, great build. If anything, he's probably just going, this is the one I have to do with. But elites for a Navy player, you generally don't want to do. You don't want to mess with ground units. It can be incredibly effective late game if you have the money to spend. Then you can hit them from another front by dropping units on top of them. However, early game like this, you don't want to mess with it. You want to make focus on making ships to be able to deal with the other Navy so you can protect your ground units from naval harassment. So right here you'll see I'm trying to support him a little bit. You gotta be careful not using too much of this, but I'm just supporting my Matt County, like that cluster of hunters. And I gave one to him, I kept one myself, so we can both do it. That way we're not, one player isn't bearing the burden of all the macking. I'm doing half, he's doing half. Which is important because you can sink a lot of money into Matt cannons and then not have any units to counter with it. Or enough units to counter with it. So here he's doing a sneak in here with a bunch of. No one uses these guys anymore because since we added the new versions. But trying to get us around there. Doesn't work out. Bunker with plenty of snipers in there and SCVs to cover. So there you go. Murphy, he likes playing Oni. He's up here he's trying to make a play for this. He used Spartan 3s and Prowlers. I didn't say anything in the game. Or Spartan 3s and Goshawks. That was a very meta build a few patches ago. I don't know if he's up to date. But that was a great build because Spartan 3s upgraded with assault rifles could tear through everything but scarabs in high enough numbers, which were reasonably easy to get. And the only thing that could stop them again was a scarab, and that could be taken care of with plenty of Goshawks because they do high damage and fairly high rate against armored, and actually against everything. They're fragile enough Goshawks that you don't want to just go mass Goshawk. Some like a Wraith could take it out because of the splash and everything else, but they deal in high enough damage that they're not to be trifled with. So this build, 10, 20 patches ago, would have been prime, the meta build. Now that this is a less effective build, you would want to go with just Spartan 2s generally. But I like to see creative play and people try new things because then you can find the game gets exciting and you find new things that are already here that you never thought about. It's cool to see. So effective against buildings like you see and against outposts. He was, I think, going for upgrades. No, he got the specialization upgrade and the movement speed 1 upgrade, if I remember right. And so he's going here to try to grab what he can here. This will get cleaned up in a bit. There you go. If you notice here, the Navy's in orbit on the mini-map. I'll pull over here for you. There they are. And he actually cleans this up. Spoilers, but they bash on a little later in the game on him for using Navy ships, for Navy-making troops, but he did the elite's job with taking care of the of Oni here. So I wouldn't bum too much. And you see, like here, these are just straight-up elites. Elites are your good units, kind of equivalent to ODSTs, but you're not your strong units. And they were able to clean this up easy enough. And they come here and take the outpost back. So this is actually, for being a new player, this was a good play. And he's got a good ship mixture enough for being a new player, like this is your first game. Because if you look at this camera, you're just kind of looking at all the models and stuff, which is cool. But yeah, that's a good build, the good makings of a build. So that stuff right here. Let's check back here on Harvest. Ooh, that is a good ball. This guy knows what he's doing. So the elite said left some units here. He'd be best trying to help out with dealing with these Spartans. I would suggest that. He would best with doing that. But he has Jackals, Hunters, Wraiths, and AA Wraiths, and a couple Locusts. That's a good build. I would mix in some Brutes for some tankiness. Brutes can take a lot of damage on punishment, be okay. So he has the Wraith for the splash, the Jackals for the mass bio at range, and the Hunters are for the armor. Again, some Brutes to tank a little bit. They can do fair damage, but they can take a lot more, and that's where the great benefit is. Right here, this is also a good build I want to see more of. So those are some Spartan 3s that the only player is passing to the army. Spartan 3s, Spartan 2s give a buff to infantry units. No one uses it, but it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. It costs a couple Spartans, and with that, you can just pump out units. When they'd said give to whatchamacallit, I thought they had meant I thought he meant the console here. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get Onyx here. For those who don't know, Onyx was planned as a counter to Covenant glassing. So Covenant can glass these rocks here, right here, for minerals. A sizable amount of minerals for everyone. So originally, Onyx was over here near Earth, designed as a counter to that mass income, so you can balance it a little bit. Originally it was 10, now it's 5, and it's right here. It's to the players, it's hidden. It's there, but it's hidden officially. So the way you unlock it, we want to keep that as a secret, but I won't make it. You come over here to this console, you click on it, you push all the buttons. Okay, you push all the buttons, and then you come over here to this console, which is made visible, and you push the buttons on it. That is essentially a Halo Wars, more or less, where you go from one planet to the next. So on the first one, you push the buttons. On Harvest, that leads you to Arcadia, and then eventually leads you to that one. But all right. If you notice here now, I have this repair platform support the two closest to it. So I come over here and I grab Onyx real quick for the 5 income per second. That's equivalent to an outpost and a little more. Now you see down here we have the elites. Ooh, hang on. Oops. So I see that there. I get a couple picks here with the fighters. Ooh, so good. We didn't have the support to take care of those many fighters. Usually fighters take care of fighters, or corvettes. Everything has some little anti-fighter defense, but nothing quite like that. Here the elites are attacking Earth, a bunch of energy swords. Good deal for them. Oops, I missed that fight. That's the whole point of this one. This is supposed to be kind of the beginnings of a Navy. No, okay, I haven't. That's fine. This was the beginning of a Navy video. So if against an experienced player, this is how I would want to play. Turtle up with a repair platform and some mat cannons until I got a large enough fleet size to take them out. And going on little forays. If I notice, I casted one, but the audio was terrible on it. Where reach is great because it's centrally located, so it's a stone's throw from Arcadia, from all the UNSC planets, Harvest and Kai Seti. You can come out here, still protected by the Mac, well, mostly protected, and unleash your interceptors to harass and pick off a couple of units in orbit of a planet while pulling back to your defensive position again. So it's really strong, and I think if we push it, it might be. Maybe we can make it a meta build. But I paused a lot this game. On the production tab, our Navy is making a carrier. Good for him. And not much else. Our income tab, resources lost. Oh, does it actually? It does. That's cool. Tells you how much money you're floating. So this one, I go over there and I tell one Corvette, I tell it to come apart, but I had it click to follow. So what I was going to do is just click on Onyx, unselect it, and move the rest back. But it was sent to follow the rest. So I was just like, oh well, you're coming with us. So it's like, no, wait, don't leave me. it's probably gonna get picked off. It knows it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I would be that way too. I was afraid. I'd be like, don't leave me here. I don't want to get picked off by the Covenant. It's scary to go. There it is. Right here, you'll see I came in to help out a little bit, but it picks off mine. And I think I missed a pretty good engagement there, but they must have traded well enough because Oni congratulated him. I want to swing up here. Oni just asked me to snipe this. I thought I could, but I was actually pretty unsure about this. I didn't think I should have done it. I was like, I'll go do it. So I swing in here, and this is actually, to be honest, this is a great timing. He's about to get a carrier, and then we were on more even footing. So for me to go in with the time I did, huge. I focused down, another important thing in this fight. What you want to do is focus down the bigger ships first. That's something I don't always do, but that's important. Focus on the big ones. So especially when you have carriers can nuke down a ship really fast, melt it down really fast. So it melts down the carrier, the heavy cruiser, and then it just picks through the rest between all these units here. So that was a major fleet fight for our victory. And now Oni is over here taking St. Helios, or making a play for it. And there's the benefit. He didn't slip face in, so that was an even faster time. Because he knew he had protection, he wasn't going to get picked on the way because I just picked off all the Navy ships. That was a good play on his part. Now he switched over to Spartan 2s and Goshawks. He likes his Goshawk. I did too for a long time. They have a place still, but not in those numbers anymore. So he went with rockets, and he's getting some pigs here. The other thing is Spartans, once they're leveled up, can dodge that. Oh, that was a little misclick there. Oof. That poor, yeah. They never get out. That's a, I made a comment once. You see when there's a drop pod, that's representative of your drop pods missing the planet and flying off into space. Which, yes, I know that wouldn't happen because gravity would probably pull it in, but maybe if you just, that's the representation. You launch with too much force, just to escape gravity, or you just launch so far off course. Again, a cluster like that wouldn't have ever happened. Unless you're talking about like the ring, you could have missed it, but it's fine. It's just, if it drops on the world lines, it means it gets lost. Now, this is a good fight. He's using shotguns here. Good choice to use, and you'll see how effective it is. But you'll notice something here. That is something I like about the elites. Those were energy swords, elites, but they engaged while cloak. Great play, because it allows them to close the distance without risking the damage. Also, you don't want to. Spartans have a limit on how much they can tank, and old patches, they were strong enough. The best thing you could do was just sit there and tank them. When we nerfed Spartans, it became more of a micro-oriented unit, and it's Orion's way, I think, of accommodating all the skill levels. Because some people really enjoy micro, and some people enjoy just massing, and so we're trying to accommodate that, maybe. But here you see the uncloak, and from that point, they're just cleaned up with that many energy swords. So even if he had been microing, even if another player had been microing that, it still would have ended the same. And I don't mean to begin an onslaught on this particular player. I suppose I've gotten a little annoyed with their intents to micromanage people and what I don't mind being counseled. I don't like the risk of being yelled at by someone who doesn't know what they're talking about too much yet. I don't know. I apologize. That's on me. You did a great job. You played this game very well, and I apologize for that. That's just maybe my own pride getting in the way instead of just And so, sorry, got a little awkward, huh? The great part of this was how well he played in this, and I don't chew them out if they're not playing the best way that you think they could, or you could do, or they could do. It's just generally not helpful. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy being that way. So this was a game where I was just like, if you lose, losing is an option. Like, it's an opportunity to learn. And don't try to micromanage him either, because that's not enjoyable. The reason why I don't enjoy this particular player is because he tries to micromanage everyone. And that's just not fun. Help, yes, but if I don't enjoy it, why would someone else enjoy it? So that's why maybe I should try to help out a little bit. by not doing it with other players. Even if you know you can do better, don't micromanage them. This is a game, not real life. And even real life, that's a different story. But in this, we're here to rest and relax and just have a good time, not like beat our chests and do anything weird. So we want to encourage. So I'm trying to do that a little bit better myself. Anyways, if you notice here, I just handed him 3 destroyers. I asked him if he wanted to, he could split the cost and work out that way a little better, to save on the mech. And I'm sorry if I've actually been rude to you before. Sorry, this guilt is getting to me now. I'm sorry if I've been rude to you before, because I have to players. I've been a little unkind in the way I've been trying to coach, or a little arrogantly superior, You know, it's like, oh, you don't even know what you're doing. You know, get the program, instead of just being like, hey, why don't you try this, or letting people learn through their own experiences. Then they'll be more open to it. We're talking here about the ring in the chat, but I'm getting ready to go grab the ring. So you notice here, you've built a couple more platforms. We're getting ready for the ring to show up here in the next 5 minutes. And, ooh, hang on. What do we got in these? Pause 3, there it is. I don't know what you have in these, but we will find out. I don't remember from the time I played this. Oh, elites. I've actually... I've actually had a lot of trouble with those. So that's another reason why I try not to micromanage players, is that I have tons of trouble myself. I've been playing the game for 6 months, you know, and I still get stuck in roots and rats sometimes, where I just don't. This is one piece of advice I gave in the entire game. And it's just kind of like, as a player, that doesn't feel good, to be like, yo, this is easy, what are you doing? You know, I was just like, well, I don't know, I'm trying. No, yeah. Anyways, looks like we had a fleet fight going on. I'll have to check that out real quick. But yeah, I've actually had a lot of trouble with elites recently. Just straight elites in high numbers against this, and this, in my opinion, is a pretty strong build. If you micro with snipers, which he does, he takes care of it very well, and they're split up. But if they're dropped around you, they can do a lot of damage. For the cost, the quantity that they use, they can do a lot. Let me jump back to this guy. Oops. Let me jump over here. Yes, answering questions he didn't ask only works when it's appropriate, and this wasn't the time to do that. Like, it's hard to... I'm having trouble putting into words, but it's very possible. Here we go. Here's the answer. And he does beautifully here. I might be tempted to drop in here with AR rifles or shotguns. I did suggest snipers though, so and he brings in a couple of Spartan 3s. That's a nice touch. So they kind of tank. But if you notice they're oh, I don't know what he said, but it's I have blocked. So the right there, so he cleans that first part up, and then Murphy disconnects. And this is on me. That was not okay to say, and I apologize about that. But I was maybe in my mind, keep it there. But I was thinking, oh, I could do better. And maybe it's okay if you think that, but don't let it change how you treat someone else. Treat them positively. Anyways, I asked for the Spartans here. I'm going to run for the ring here in a sec. And yeah. Let's speed it up a bit. And what about me as a Navy player? I just that's funny. I just scanned it there. It's funny to me because it showed me as the observer, the ring, while cloaked, but when they scanned, but it wouldn't show me that as a player, which I think is cool. So here let me find my camera. I have these. I was building a couple of ODSTs and an SCV to go to make sure we have the index covered. something I'll show. Oh, I have paused. Something I want to show you is something I do here, which is another inventive play I might want to see catch on. For any just in case anything does, and you can do it from either side. Since I had the naval superiority, I was ready for that. I knew I was going to win the Navy fight, so I don't actually even watch this Navy fight. I just, if you notice, this is my camera. I just, I don't know what I just did, actually. But when I do take it, I just send it on no, never mind, I wasn't taking that fight yet. You can do that kind of thing on a minimap. You just select all your units, click over there, and unselect the one while moving over to another one. Something I learned. Oh, hang on. We have a fight. We have a fight. So he's coming over to help. Wow, with lots of units. I didn't notice that. And all the elites. Let's see what happens here. Those are Spartans with sniper rifles. The ring is now visible. He's making the carrier. We'll go to everyone, and I rush for it. That's all my units coming over. I already have. Oh, I can't even keep up with myself. My goodness. I already have. So I rush for the ring, drop the units here, grab the index, and let's do the rest here in a sec. I noticed I had some random Spartans up there. I was a little confused by. There we go. So I notice I have the index, I grab it up, and I'm out. Feels good to do this. And then I notice I just won a Navy fight, without noticing. Yeah, carriers are very viable now. With some units to tank for them, it even helps. I grab the index. Oh. I'm just feeling really bad about judging that guy now. So, you notice I'm fortifying the ring orbit because I didn't want him to come and take it. I was kind of memeing that point. But, started building because I also partly because I got tired of always losing the ring to Spear Navy. A little slow on the getting the key ship, but I'm getting it now. And the army's cleaning up on Harvest. I'm not sure why there's nothing here. Well, that's the game. We have the money to spend because we have the ring, Onyx. Well, we had Onyx. We just lost an outpost. We got a boost, so I started spending money that way. Now let me jump over here because while I'm doing that, oh, he's sniping. They have a speed boost because of the upgrades they've gotten. So he's taking care of it. He's going with shotguns. He is. My goodness, look at him go. No way. Yeah, he just takes them all out with shotguns. My goodness. Do we have any upgrades? Hang on a second. Wow. I might need to make a clip of that one. I'm not sure what our ups are like. So he just took both our planets back. He's getting back his back the outpost. And from here it's just kind of we just keep taking points until we win. Sorry to go over real quick because I need to go into the store and get some homework done for a couple of classes. Oh, jeez. Feel bad now. I just got in the nice tag today too, and I was mean to that guy. So I need to apologize about that to Murphy if he ever sees this, which he might. Especially since I mentioned it, and if anyone actually watches these, which they usually won't. Um, Sorry, I'm not perfect. I hope to be better the next time I meet you. I was trying this game. Oh, he's messing Spartans. You see that? No. Okay, I don't want the Spartans, but he made some. So I've spammed nothing but. Oh, no, that's good. He's making sure I'm staying straight here, which I appreciate him doing. Anyways, that's the game. I know there's only 4 minutes left, but I thought there was some things worthwhile noting here. Oh, yeah, okay. He made a DDS. Usually, that's a creative play. Usually, as elites, that's not the most ideal. I didn't know the good DDS could drop like that. That's actually could be really effective. Never mind, I take that back. Dropping that quantity of elites could be worthwhile, especially with the health of a DDS. So, like, let's say there's a bunch of prowlers blockading the planet. This is the equivalent of getting a sport cruiser. Sport cruisers are way cheaper, but these could take care of the prowlers and drop them all like that, which would be cool. Or something larger like a whole fleet. You got to be careful. Too large a fleet would just melt that. But if it's not too big, you could use that to tank the damage if they had like detection there that you can't take care of. Let's get cleaned up by tanks and then they'll leave. So that's the game. I don't know if I really feel like I need to let it play out all the way. I guess it's just because I played it. But here's the only response. If he had switched over to fuel rods, he could have cleaned those up. As it is, he runs into them with swords. Not the best option here. In smaller quantities, swords are great against vehicles, but against that many, you do want to be fuel rod guns. All right, that's it. Again. That's it. We're just gonna let it play out for the last 2 minutes. I know that's not great. Anyways, hope to see you come out here and join us in the arcade. There's a lot of fun to play. If you notice here, I deployed my Spartans, taking 2 planets at once. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it, and I need to go. I hope I make things right with Murphy. Make sure that I didn't offend him too much. I know I'd probably be sensitive about something like that. So. check the match.